Do you think when we do the farming and agriculture or produce food, we ensure that everyone has enough food? Not just today, but for the years to come? It is a big question, right? Have you thought that there is a chance that food may disappear from the earth forever? Well, believe it or not, there is a chance. So, what do we do now? This is where we explore how science, farming, and smart choices help us fight hunger and improve the food security. Let's dive in with starting with the basics. So, in nature, only green plants and blue green algae can make their own food. And they are called autotrophs, right? But the rest of us, animals, humans, and most of the living beings depend on these producers for food. And that's why we are called the heterotrophs. Let's look a little back in the history of human dependence on agriculture. Throughout history, humans have mainly relied on agriculture and animal husbandry to meet their food needs. But as our population grows, that's not enough anymore. To feed more people, we need to focus on the non starchy food grains, grow more nutritious crops, and expand the animal based food sources. Sounds simple, right? Not quite simple. Unfortunately, we are facing new challenges: climate change. Yes, the climate change, loss of fertile land, and an unstable environment, these make it harder to produce enough food. So, what is the solution? To increase the production, we actually need to manage agricultural growth smartly. What does that mean? How do we do that? We do that by making nutrients more available, selecting high quality seeds and plants, and using the right farming methods, which means modern farming techniques as well. But nutrients aren't alone. But nutrients alone aren't enough. We also need to protect our crops from pests and diseases. And when it comes to food from animals, mixed farming is the key. Now, what does mixed farming mean? That means combining agriculture with, say, animal husbandry, agriculture with poultry farming, agriculture with even beekeeping. Together, these strategies help us meet growing food demands. Now, let's take a look at the crop themselves. Cereals play a major role in our diets. From cereals, we get carbohydrate. We obtain carbohydrate from cereals like wheat, paddy, and maize. And we also get protein from cereals like peas, chickpea, and black gram. Not just that, oils too. We also get oils from cereals like groundnut and sunflower. And of course, we obtain the vitamins and minerals from the vegetables. But did you know that different crops need different environmental conditions? Yes, that's why kharif crops are grown during the rainy season, while the rabi crops thrive in winter. I mean, if you want to know more about this, like which one is rabi, which one is kharif, take a pause. I mean, seriously, pause at this point and take a closer look. You've actually studied this last year. Now, let's try to understand how the production has increased over the years. Right? Between 1960 and 2004, the area of cultivated land in India increased by only 25%. But guess what? The food production went up by 4 times. Isn't that amazing? Just for 25% over these many years, the food production has gone by 4 times. So, what do you think made this possible? What do you think made this possible? Three key factors actually. First one is the selecting high quality seeds and plants. Second is the proper use of nutrients. And third, the effective crop protection strategies. These strategies are part of what we call crop improvement and green revolution. A common method of which is plant breeding, where the scientists select the healthiest plants to produce better crops. In India, the green revolution of the 1970s uh, were led by Professor M.S. Swaminathan marked a huge turning point. Thanks to the effort during the periods of significant agricultural movement, crops saw a big jump. How? Through the adoption of modern technologies and inputs. Now, what is this Green Revolution? It's a period of significant agricultural advancement focused on increasing crop yields through the adoption of modern technology and inputs. Thanks to institutions like the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, the Central Rice Research Institute, now known as the National Rice Research Institute, and the Odisha University of Agriculture and Technology. So, what have we learned today? Improving food security is more than just growing crops. It's about using better seeds. It's about protecting plants. It's about managing nutrients. It's about using science for farming. And here is something to think about. Can you find examples of improved crops or farming practices in your area? Maybe you can talk to a local farmer, visit a nursery, or research your favorite food and discover the science behind how it is grown.